one place nobody ever knows what to do when they come to open the boot.
Yeah, how do you open the boot?
It's actually underneath here.
Oh.
Some people push here and then they're here, and it's actually just underneath there.
Right. And up she goes.
It's quite compact.
That's quite a lot of load space, though. That is a very nice tyre. It's a nice Michelin tyre, and it is fitted to an Opel Mokka, the new shape Opel Mokka. Matthew is here with me.
Back
Hello,
again.
Matt. Yeah, here we are. So we've gone
going?
from a 7-seater 5008 in the Peugeot range. We're now talking Opel. Opel is a brand that's been around in South Africa for a very long time. It's a trusted brand. But the look has changed. You and I were talking earlier about Opel being relatively conservative. This is not conservative.
This is very bold for the Opel stable, but it's an amazing looking car. We get a lot of excited customers coming to look at this car, but the best part of this car is the drive.
Right.
It's an 8-speed automatic gearbox.
Wow.
So it's a very, very smooth ride, and a 96 kilowatt engine. And it's a smaller, it looks kind of smaller than to the previous generation Mokka. The previous generation was a little bit squashed, but a higher vehicle.
Yes.
So this is more lower to the ground. This particular model is the GS line. They retail at $539, and literally, like most of our cars, there's very, very little you can add by way of extra accessories, other than like smash and grab and the normal stuff. But
so your entry spec is really high.
Yeah, I mean this car is there's nothing really you can add to this car. You know, you'll see when we look inside.
Well, let's do that. You were talking about low to the ground, but that ground clearance is still really good. I mean, you could confidently drive this car just about anywhere. So I would suggest slowing down for speed bumps, but you don't have to worry. It's not a low profile. This is a well-built machine. Keyless entry.
100%. Yeah. As long as the key's in your pocket within 2 meters, it will open for you.
Let's start on the driver's side.
You won't see a gear stick.
All right, talk to us about the driver's cockpit here. What have we got here?
So it's also very futuristic. It's different to the Peugeot. In fact, the three bands don't tend to trip up over each other, even though they have quite competing vehicles. We see a very sort of one-dimensional.
I like that. It's almost it's kind of a digital display built around the driver. So whichever way you glance, you're going to get vital information as the driver, right?
Again, fully spec'd with everything that you could hope to have: Android, Apple CarPlay, all those kinds of things. It's got the paddle shifts behind here, less prominent than the ones we saw on the Peugeot.
Where's the gear lever?
Right here. It's just a button. It's again very futuristic, very bold for Opel.
Airbags,
standard 6 airbags.
Standard.
Yeah. As we said earlier, the safety features on our brands are not compromised in any way.
And the best feature you have is the lock the rear windows, because my kids love to, while the air conditioning's on, open the rear windows.
You get that wind noise.
You get that buffeting noise. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. So super comfy driver's seat.
Very much.
I like the leather once again. The seats are really, it's kind of bucket seat, but it's built around you, but it's not as firm, so you're getting a bit of a softer ride.
And that's often one of the things you can feel in a vehicle that's premiumly priced versus one that's cheaper. You'll feel it, like you said earlier, in the sound of the doors.
Right.
Clunk noise, the tinny noise. You can feel it in the seats. You know, I went to Joburg last week and I got into another vehicle I'd never been in before, and I said, "Oh, it looks quite nice. I've never been in one." But straight away, I felt the seats, and it was just like a cushion. It was just like sponge. No design to it, no ergonomics, nothing. So
which is what your brands tend to have. There's a lot more thought that goes into it. Okay, the key test for anyone is the back of a car, because if you've got 4 of you riding, quite a tall driver can push his chair quite far back, and there's still a fair amount of space in there. That's not bad at all. I see. Is that USB ports there as well? So unlike the 5008, there's no separate climate control, but it's a smaller vehicle, so you wouldn't necessarily need it. But you do have power points, USB points at the back there as well, and a very, very cool.
One place nobody ever knows what to do when they come to open the boot.
Yeah, how do you open the boot?
It's actually underneath here.
Oh.
Some people push here and then they're here, and it's actually just underneath there.
Right. And up she goes.
So it's quite compact.
That's quite a lot of load space, though. seated inside this car, and the one thing that stands out to me is again, I get the feeling like that the dashboard is kind of built around me as the driver, and as the person responsible for making sure we don't have accidents and we're safe on the road. This makes sense. Right, what do I do? What do I do?
Foot on the brake, start button.
Foot on the brake. Press the start button. Where's the start button? Show me. Oh, there it is there. Right, okay, so press the start button. Car starts up automatically.
Look,
I see it's on East Coast Radio. That's very smart. This is what I love, these displays, because as opposed to a static normal analog display, there's a lot more you can do with the digital display.
Very much so.
You could choose what you want to see and what's most important to you. Yes.
Also, one of the features of this car is it's got what they call gone blank for a second. You've got your cruise control that's automated.
Oh wow!
So it's actually got cameras in the car that measure the speed and the distance of the car in front of you.
Right.
And if it believes you haven't responded, it'll respond.
It'll
itself.
respond.
It'll slow the car down.
Wow.
And you know, because sometimes driver fatigue, all that kind of stuff. So it's very, very computer.
Driven. And look, I mean, driver assistance has been something that's been around for a long time. You know, some of your big German brands were the first to bring in that lane assist and the like. But now you're seeing that on a lot more cars, and certainly this is a hot hatch. What would you SUV cross? B SUV, right? Right, so, and it wasn't a feature you found regularly in this type of vehicle, which now Opel has brought into this kind of vehicle, which is great. And again, you've got your phone integration, you've got your navigation in there. I'm pretty sure that this can pick up, you've got the Apple CarPlays and the Android Play and the whole deal there. Climate control, which is really cool. Heated seats, is that right? So in Durban's freezing weather,
it's the best feature in Durban.
Yeah. This is a great feature for you to have in Durban. No, but I mean, it's a fantastic feature. There's your lane assist there. Does it make me a cappuccino though? Is the question.
That's the next step.
Okay, that's the next evolution. That's the next evolution. All right, let's turn that motor off so I don't waste too much of the fuel, because fuel is. Okay, now I need to.
No, just press the button again.
Oh, press the button again. With my foot on the brake, I would imagine.
Just there we go.
Okay, all right. So there's a process involved here. Touchscreen display.
Yep.
This is amazing. Right, we were actually at the back of the car.
The boot,
You know what a lot of people do ask though, before we move into the boot, a lot of people do ask about sound. I mean, we all know people, especially us guys, we like decent sound quality. What's the sound quality on this car? I mean, you've got the obviously front driver's side, rear speakers.
It's a great system.
Yeah.
German.
Yes,
so German engineering. They've got everything.
So there's nothing wrong with it. It's going to work just fine.
100%. Yeah.
Let's talk about boot space. One of the things that I said when we did this was I was surprised at how much there is actually in this, because if you have a look at the side profile of the vehicle, you're assuming that your boot starts around about there, and you're looking at this gap here, but actually it's fairly deep. And you've got a lot of space.
A lot of it to do with the angle of the back seats as well.
Yes.
Can give you more volume.
Right.
You've got the 60-40 split, so you can drop one or both to give you extra volume. These are obviously, the parcel shelves obviously removable.
Yes.
Just clip them out here. So yeah, as in this segment, it's pretty much the same as most of its competitors in terms of the volume.
We had a look at the front profile of the vehicle. Let's close this, and I want to have a look at the back profile of the vehicle, because this is one of the things that I really like what Opel's done here. With the red trim that runs down to here, that kind of styling goes into your tail lights.
Yeah.
And I mean, these tail lights are very unique. You're not going to see this. If you see this car from the back, even if you don't see the name, you see those tail lights, you're going to know what it is, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Very, very stylish. And of course the mags don't hurt either with the red trim. It's
it
really
all blends into nicely. I mean, you look at the black one over there as well with the red trim. It comes out really nice.
Yes.
Obviously the red one doesn't have it, but it all works. The dual colours, it all works together. So
retailing at, how much is this car selling for?
539,900.
Right. Smack in the middle of its market, yeah.
We have a special on these three actually at 499,900 currently.
Wow.
So 40,000 rand off.
Save yourself 40 grand.
Yeah.
Pop in.
And then potentially win 100.
Right, exactly. This is what I was going to say. Come into Key Pinetown, save 40 grand on your purchase. Yeah. Maybe get 100 grand back and get some birthday cake.
For sure.
And come and meet Matthew because he's a cool guy.
Here we go.
Okay, so we've done Peugeot, we've done Opel. Before I go, I want to talk about Citroen.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks, Gordon.